Hello and welcome to the NVT Phybridge Web GUI overview video. My name is Nico, and today we will be discussing the Web GUI or Graphic User Interface for the Flex 2410G and Clear 2410G managed switches. We will divide this video into 4 parts, each dealing with each page of the GUI and diving deeper into the tabs within them. In order to connect to the GUI, you will need to connect your managed switch via the uplink or management ports. It should also be noted that on the Flex 2410G, you're able to connect to the GUI via the Downlink ports as well. The default IP addresses for the managed switch will be 192.168.100.1 for the uplink and downlink ports, and 192.168.1.1 for the management ports. Type in the required IP address in the address bar of your web browser. We recommend the use of Google Chrome for the sake of easy connectivity. From here, you will be brought to the login page of your switch. The default username to log in is admin, and the password is also admin. You will first be brought to the System page, specifically within the Overview tab. The System page holds 3 tabs, which are Overview, Performance, and Log. When looking specifically at the System Overview tab, we can see that there are several panels detailing general information for both individual port statuses and information on the switch, such as its MAC address, IP address, serial number, and much more. Transitioning into the Performance tab, we can take a look at 4 live track panels which record CPU load, memory, power usage, and temperature. The Log tab allows us to view real-time updates between all ports on the switch. Logging information can be filtered by lines and field values, as well as download logs for informational use. The Ethernet page contains 4 tabs, which are IP config, Uplink Ports, Downlink Ports, and PoE. With the IP config tab, we can manage SVIs or switched virtual interfaces and assign IP addresses to them. SVIs can be statically assigned or dynamically assigned IPs from a DHCP server. From the Uplink Ports tab, we can configure the speed of each uplink port and verify the RX and TX packet counters. If we go into the Downlink Ports tab, we can manage the downlink ports on a port-by-port basis. This is where we are able to also view the uptimes for the devices on each port, the MAC addresses of each connected device, and the number of link-down events on each port. For more information on what link-down events are, please look at the Link Down Events video, which can be found linked in the section down below. The final tab within this page is the PoE tab, which allows us to make PoE configurations and lets us view real-time PoE statistics on a port-by-port basis. The Vlan page acts as the main configuration point for all Vlan settings and holds 4 tabs: Vlan Table, Trunk Vlan, Private Vlan, and Port Isolation. The Vlan Table page allows you to make Vlan configurations and create, delete, or edit an existing Vlan, and set one Vlan as the default. The Trunk Vlan tab allows you to assign trunk port status to all ports on the switch, and assign native VLANs and allowed VLANs without the need of console commands. The Private VLAN tab allows us to assign ports with a private VLAN ID, which allows us to divide existing VLANs into sub-VLANs, further expanding our private network infrastructure. Finally, Port Isolation tab allows us to remotely isolate a port on the switch without the need of console commands. If you would like a more in-depth look within VLAN and trunking, please check the section below for additional links to our VLAN and trunking informational videos. Our 4th and final page is the Admin page, which is divided into 3 tabs. The tabs are Setup, Services, and Notes. The Setup tab allows for the configuration of basic switch settings within the system settings. From here, we can change the host name, date and time, as well as the power over Ethernet voltage per port. We can also export and import existing configurations, factory default the device remotely, and reboot the system within the panels below. There is an additional feature added to the 10G product line, which allows us to install firmware upgrade packages without the need of an FTP server. The Services tab allows us to enable or disable networking services without the need of console commands. From here, we can access the Enable/Disable Services panel, which allows us to use toggle switches to enable and disable services such as Telnet, SSH, HTTP, and many others. The panel below it allows us to set up a remote log server, where changes made within this panel will be effective immediately after hitting apply. The Network Time Protocol panel allows us to direct the switch to one or multiple NTP servers where it will receive its NTP packets. Below that, we can change the spanning tree protocol types from STP to RSTP and alter its bridge priority value. Finally, the Simple Network Management Protocol allows us to change the receiver IP address that will take in SNMP traffic from our managed switch. The final tab is the Notes tab, which serves as a notepad which can be saved and downloaded into a notepad.txt file. Going outside of the four main pages of the Switch GUI, we have the Help button, which brings us to a helpful guide in order to better manage our switch configurations. The Help page has detailed descriptions and guides on how to use all of the Web GUI features for the Switch. It functions as an interactive user guide, which can be a great asset when getting started with your Switch. Once we're finished making configurations on the GUI, be sure to save the running configuration by clicking the Save Running Configuration button, which is found in the Admin page within the Setup tab. Afterwards, we can hit the Log Out button, which is located to the top right corner, which will bring us back to the login page of our Switch. Thank you for watching the NVT Phybridge Web GUI overview video. The Flex 2410G and Clear 2410G are capable of many more robust configuration settings, which can be found in their administrative guides at nvtphybridge.com. We hope this has been an informative look at our managed switches Web GUI features, and we hope you have a wonderful day.